welcome in for episode 20 of Have a Shift A. I think this is the first time we've ever hit the 20s for our episodes, which is crazy.
Is it?
Maybe.
I think she's right.
Yeah. I think I'm right. Yeah,
Sick.
I'm right.
And it's the OG crew.
It is.
the
Ryan
OG.
is unfortunately on the IR. Not really. He's sick. He's not feeling well. He did send a statement, though, a brief
We
statement.
miss you, Ryan.
We do miss you.
Hope you get better.
So here's a little statement from Ryan. I hope you all are doing amazing and the pod goes well. I'm sorry I can't be there, but all we've really learned since the last podcast is that Sidney Crosby should be the new Steelers quarterback. Hope to see you guys soon.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's a fair take.
No. If you don't know, Pat McAfee had a big event at PBG last night. And Sidney Crosby can throw a football very well.
Yeah, I like watching that live. I'm like, he's getting this. He's Sidney Crosby. Like,
Were you? What?
I was watching it.
Yeah.
Wait, was it live streamed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was?
It was live streamed, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Darn it. I just saw it on social media afterwards.
Yeah, they're like,
And I can't find it on Hulu right now.
like it was Pittsburgh legends
Oh, yeah.
throughout the whole entire
Yeah,
night.
like,
crazy.
I did not really know about this event until last week. It seemed like it was so fun.
Yeah. I thought it
I'm
would be
so sad I didn't go.
being downtown. I thought it would be talked about more. I don't
Yeah.
feel like it was talked about enough.
No, because, like, I don't think people knew really what to expect. Like, we were talking about this in podcasting class last week. I don't think we expected Sidney Crosby, Ben Roethlisberger, Paul Skeens, Chris Letang, and Evgeny Malkin to all be standing on the stage
Yeah,
together.
I didn't.
And Jelly Roll singing Renegade.
I knew it'd be.
What?
I knew it'd be something better than we could imagine. Like Pat McAfee's got so many connections, and
True.
like he's taken over the sports world.
Yeah.
Not even that, like
He
the
literally
entire
took
world.
over the
Yeah.
city yesterday.
Yeah.
Last night.
And it started at like 8:00 and ended at like 12:30. I mean,
That's
It literally got
crazy.
pushed back because there was still so many people lined up.
yeah.
It was supposed to start at 8, and it didn't start till past 8:30
Oof.
because of the long lines getting in.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it looked
crazy.
so much fun. Like I'm so disappointed that I didn't
I'm
go to
sad that we didn't make an effort for this. This would have been a great vlog.
Oh,
Dude,
that vlog would've
vlogging
been,
that would've been
like Snoop Dogg coming out.
I
Wiz
didn't know it was gonna be
Khalifa.
like that big of an event.
Yeah.
I was expecting like it would just kind of be like a podcast and be like some guests like here and there, but
It was
not
like
like a full.
it was a
like,
concert. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know what
A
it
game
was.
show.
Bill brought up like Jey Uso.
Yeah.
He brought out like just
Sumo wrestling.
they had a full on sumo wrestling event. Like
I've
they
not
brought
seen
out like
everything about
4
this
different
event.
music artists. Another country guy. They brought out Ernest too. So
They
5
did.
It was Ernest, Jelly Roll, Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, and somebody else. I'm blanking on his name right now. It was another like country guy, but he's not like as popular as Ernest and Jelly Roll.
Oh, did he come out with Snoop Dogg? Did he
No, that
sing?
was Ernest who came out with
Okay,
Snoop
okay.
Dogg, which was like, what?
How does he know all these people?
Pat McAfee.
He's
This is
Pat.
insane.
He's Pat.
Okay, well, sorry, there's no vlog about that because we were not in attendance. And
It probably would have been hard to get a ticket.
yeah.
Like I
I
didn't even
sold
know
out
about
like-
it.
Put
I
in
didn't.
the
I didn't,
Ticketmaster trenches
yeah.
for that. I've had
I didn't
enough
even
of
hear
the
about it.
Ticketmaster trenches.
I didn't hear about. We talked about it in Angela's class. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think I knew that he was having something, but I was like, okay, cool. And then we were talking about it more, and we're like, wait, this.
I didn't realize like how cool. I didn't know how
And
cool
then-
the event was gonna be.
It was just nuts. I'm like, oh, darn it.
I thought it was just gonna be him like
probably-
on stage, like just yapping about sports.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool, but like, oh, that might be something to go. I didn't know he was gonna have like all this stuff going on. Like,
Yeah, it was crazy.
All right, well.
so when are we up next?
You're gonna sell out PVG.
When are we selling out PBG?
Oh, man. We got to get on ESPN first, I guess, but I feel like I've already said things about them that.
Also, by
great.
the way, I just want to give a tidbit. The guy in the Eagles jersey who won like $2 million last night, because like I went to church last night, which is like right.
Yeah, it's
basically
right by the
besi-
stadium.
He walked right past the church, and Caleb looked at him and goes, "Oh my gosh, that's Jalen Hurts!"
I think I
That's
saw.
And
someone,
we were yelling at like him and like other people, like, "Hey, don't go see Pat. Come to church instead." He went and saw Pat and won $2 million. So.
Have a night.
I literally texted it to Caleb. I was like, isn't the guy, like, you called Jalen Hurts, like, walking past the sanctuary earlier? He's like, yeah. It's like,
Oof.
oh my gosh, he won 2-0.
Anyways.
Of course, it was Eagles, man.
Yeah,
Of course
but
it was.
why?
I'm glad you guys.
Fly,
I'm glad all the fans.
Eagles, fly.
I'm glad all the fans booed him. Like, I'm so
mean,
happy they did.
Glad Saquon was on my fantasy team.
Let's move on now before we get way too off
One of
track
his
here.
85 teams he cheers for.
That's true.
Gosh, this guy doesn't have
All right.
loyalty.
In case you missed it last week, we are now fully independent from Inside the Rink. We had the announcement was a little off because things happened, but we are now fully independent. So if you're not subscribed to Have a Shift Day on YouTube, subscribe or
Sub.
subscribe on Spotify.
Hit
Sub.
it.
Sub.
So
We
please
did have
subscribe.
that.
Make sure you're following our socials.
We did have that flash sale. I don't know if you guys
What?
got the last minute merch on Smithfield, but
Oh my gosh.
If you keep subscribing, then we can sell out PPG Paints Arena and have our own event.
at Target on Smithfield.
Our
No,
event
there's
is
nothing.
actually in the Student Center, floor number 2. That's our event.
Sure, yeah. But also, all of our old episodes from this past season are on our YouTube channel. So if you, for some reason, want to put one on, need some background noise from
I'd say go back.
November,
Just go back to episode 1, and then just like look at the hot takes and that.
Well, we're gonna have those in here.
yeah, but
That's
I mean,
a little Pucks and Deep preview. Is some hot takes.
you just want to see a
Or you
wizard.
just don't have to.
We'll get to that later,
I
guys.
know it's just
Okay. Next week though, our time is gonna be a little different. We're not gonna be out at noon tomorrow. We will probably the new episode will probably be out in the evening, and we are gonna have a playoff preview. Likely no Penguin talk in that one, just because we have a lot to talk about with the playoffs.
And the
'Cause we're not
Penguins
in
are
it.
awful.
Yeah, and there's not much to talk about with the Penguins. We're gonna go over that soon here. But also our annual bracket video is coming out next week as well. That's gonna be coming out Saturday morning. So make sure you're subscribed for those, because playoffs are almost here. We're really, really excited.
who had the best bracket out of us 3 last year?
I forget.
That's a great question.
I think this year we actually
I think we all flopped last
I
year.
think we somehow did. Okay, this year we need to actually like do a bracket pool on the NHL
Yeah.
website. That way it can keep track rather than
I agree.
having to go back to the bracket video. Because okay. But speaking of playoffs, we are gonna have continued coverage through the playoffs. We don't have a full set plan. We're hoping to do like 2 episodes for each round. We don't have set days for those yet because playoff schedule is very uncertain. So make sure you're following us on our social media, have a shift_A, Instagram, TikTok, X, to stay up to date when our playoff episodes are going to come out, because I personally don't even know when they're going to come out. So stay tuned. We're excited.
Slay.
But as we continue some playoff related talk, the Penguins were officially eliminated from playoff contention last week. No surprise, obviously. It's
I
just
was surprised.
mathematically
I was surprised.
mathematically there's no way now for them to make it into the playoffs. So
Womp womp.
we've talked about it all year. We've talked about issues all year. But I want us to come up with 3 solid reasons as to why the Penguins didn't make it. We'll call it the Penguins autopsy, since the team's dead.
3 reasons.
3 reasons. 3 big reasons.
Age, speed, Tristan Jarry.
That was one of mine.
All right. We'll start with goaltending then. Goaltending, obviously, is probably the biggest issue we had. We could not get consistent goaltending. We finally got good goaltending after Tristan Jarry came back from Wilkes.
Defensive mistakes.
We can get into that too.
I think that can tie in with the goalies.
Yes. But just starting with the goalies, obviously Jarry was abysmal. And Blomqvist, we're not going to put much on him because he's young. Probably still needs more time to develop.
Bro got tossed into the fire.
Yeah, he didn't really get much help there. And then Ned was just here and there. So I guess really what I want to ask now is, we know goaltending was a problem. Do we give Jari one more year? Or do we get...
I mean, it's going to happen. He's going to be back.
No, he's not.
The
Well,
contract's just...
that was my thing with the contract. Do we give him one more year, or are we going to buy him out?
Dubas isn't a fan of the buyouts.
I think he's...
You think he's going to bite the bullet?
I think he's going to bite the bullet on this one. I don't see Jari...
Okay, would you rather bite the bullet
on this team
bite the bullet on Jari or bite the bullet on Graves?
Who is more expensive?
Who is more expensive?
I think Graves has one more year, so that
then
would
keep Graves.
I don't want to do another year for Ryan Graves, but do I want to do
Yeah, but it's only one more year. Jari, you have like 30.
Nick,
That's
I
true.
think I yelled this earlier. Sergei Mirashov. You say he's not ready for next year. So you give Jari one more chance if Mirashov isn't ready for next year.
Just go out
But
and
say
get, like,
he's
a one-year
ready.
goalie.
Say he's ready, then you buy out Jari.
Do not put Murshov in the NHL next year. Do not.
I don't want to put him in right away.
I don't
No.
either. So that's why
I would
why
like
I think
to
we're
see
gonna have
him
Jari.
at some point, though.
No, I think you get rid of Joey, get like a goalie, like a reliable 1 year guy.
Who?
Anyone? Maybe like a James Reimer?
What are Reimer's stats this year? Where even is Reimer?
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Well, I mean, Buffalo's been kind of hot lately, so who's their goalie right now? Can we have him?
Ukko-Pekka
Uka.
and Reimer is the backup.
What website are you on?
Sport Track.
I've never gone on a sport track. I'm gonna be completely honest. Okay,
what?
we're looking at free agents. All
Want Carey Price?
We can't get Carey Price.
I hear the music. This is driving me crazy.
Well, Jake's trying to find that. What about Ned? Do we just keep him as our backup or something?
He was disappointing after the hot
Yeah.
start last year, or hot finish last year. I thought that would carry over into this season. I don't feel like he ever found his game.
Mm-mm.
I don't feel like he ever had like a 5-game run where he was like,
I mean, he has this 5-game run now.
I guess.
Yeah.
A little too late though.
Yeah, I think
That's a problem when all three of your goalies that played this year have a below 900 save percentage. It's not going to help you win many games.
Okay, well, Bloomquist, I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
but-
doesn't help when the defense is bad, so we can transition into defense unless you guys have any more points you want to say about goaltending.
Just,
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen next year.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think this is gonna be a very busy season, off season with the
That was
I-
that was a Dubas mistake.
I would like us to be a lot busier
Wow.
because we signed people last year, but when free agency day opened up, I'm just like,
I mean,
okay, what are we doing here?
you look at what we did.
Hello?
You look at what we did in the off season. Did we really think that the off season we had what it take going into this year to take a next step and make the playoffs? I mean,
Yes.
Logically, no, we did not take the next step. My biased, hopeful opinion said yes, but
I didn't think so.
realistically, I think probably deep down I was like,
No,
this is not a team that can
it's not a
win.
playoff team.
So
I believe.
looking back for sure, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what we were doing.
That's all right. We got next year.
Yeah.
Gino's last year, so better go all in.
Mm-hmm. All right. So with defense, though, one person we signed in the off season was Matt Grzelcyk. He
He was
been
really
good.
good.
ended up being a lot better.
Yeah.
I feel like he
He's-
started off a
He
little
started
slow.
off horrible and out of nowhere, he was like,
He's
I
been
don't-
a
he
great playmaker recently.
he was just great. He just had a great season.
So I hope that's a guy that we keep.
Oh, I agree with you.
Obviously not helping with our youth movement that we're hoping to have, but I think it is definitely someone who we can keep because you don't want to completely rid yourself of old guys.
Yeah, definitely.
You want
not.
to have that veteran presence there, and I think
Mhm.
keeping Letang and Grzelcyk are two people you want to keep, and I anticipate Carlson getting moved,
I absolutely
think so,
he's going
too.
to get moved.
which, I mean, kind of sucks because they were like advertising him for the whole Global Series game.
Yeah, he ain't gonna
So
be on
like,
the team. In the
Hey,
World
look,
Series
he's gonna
game.
go to play in Sweden. I'm like,
Unless he's playing for the Predators.
guys.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I really do
But-
think he gets moved.
Congratulations to Erik Karlsson on getting his 200th career goal the other night, though. Let's
Big
Hey,
congrats to
He
him
let
though,
up
for that.
400 goals and he got 200 in his career.
What was
What?
the first?
He's probably given up 400 goals.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Well, 400 goals the past. How long has he been a Penguin? 2 years.
2 years.
So
The last 2 years, you think he's given up 400 goals? That's. I think the math could add up.
him and Ryan Graves combined.
Yeah, the two of them I think are the biggest names on our defense when it comes to who I don't really want to say who to blame, but who to turn towards when it comes to all of our defensive mistakes this year.
This team never had an identity throughout the whole season. Like
No.
they didn't play a certain way. Like I don't know what style they were looking for this
Mhm.
season. Like I didn't see that. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys.
No, it does.
Yeah, that does.
Like I feel like most teams have an identity. Like you've got the Islanders are a pretty big
Boring.
example. Yeah, their identity is boring hockey. Not necessarily like, oh, they're a terrible team, boring hockey. Like that way, I mean, they're mid,
Mhm.
but like they're just not exciting. Don't have really exciting chances. They just try and play like tight defense.
Yeah.
Like that's their identity. Us, we're not playing defense.
We don't
Our
have-
offense comes from our top line, and that's really it.
Yeah.
And our our identity is bad goalies. That was our identity,
is-
actually.
Yeah.
But I don't like when probably opponents were going over like video before playing us. I'm sure they weren't like, okay, this like the Penguins, they're gonna play like this. That
No,
was not
it's-
happening.
You can shoot here, and it'll all go in.
Yeah.
guess.
Oh,
Essentially.
I know what we can do, Jake.
Huh.
You going back to like goalies? You know who we can get for 1 year?
Who? Marc-Andre Fleury.
He's already retiring, guys. He's on the
Nah.
farewell tour.
Fleury,
I have
come
my
on,
Fleury
one more
shirt
year.
on.
One
Wait,
more year in
Imagine.
Pittsburgh. Just so,
There might be a
just
legit opening if he wants it.
yeah, Fleury, like literally, if you want to come be the starter for one last year, one last ride, please, like by all means, you're welcome.
I unfortunately
Did we
don't
get
think
our
that's
three?
gonna happen.
Did
but-
we get our 3 negatives?
Well, our second is defense.
What's our third?
Depth.
Yeah,
I think it's depth. Like obviously you have a point with age, but I think we recognized that early in the season. We got Philip Tomasino, who's younger, and he was a solid pickup, I believe.
Yeah.
And then I think from that point we're like, okay, we do need to get younger. We didn't try to get younger very much, but we had Owen Pickering for a while. He was good for us. P.O. Joseph, I don't know how you guys would evaluate him.
Just classic POJ. Nothing
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, nothing crazy. But I wouldn't say that like age and speed were definitely a problem, but I think the bigger issue is depth. 'Cause like You-
Yeah. I feel
I
like.
want to just like an example, obviously the Avalanche are a very fast team, but they're also a deep team, and that doesn't mean all their guys are younger. They got Brock Nelson at the trade deadline, and he's not young. He's not a young guy, but he's been a good, solid player for them, a depth player that, like, sometimes you need those veteran guys who can score, who can help your younger players who are hopefully
Yeah.
budding into stars to develop more.
I kind of want to go off that and saying, I feel like for our bottom 6 next year, instead of bringing in the veterans,
bring in the young guys.
you bring in the young guys in the bottom 6 that can
Yeah.
bring
I think
some
I like
speed
that idea.
and youth instead of going out in the free agent market and signing a player to a 2-year, $3 million contract where he's 30 years old and he doesn't have that youthful energy.
I agree.
I think
Continue.
we can get more out of our young guys in the bottom 6. They're just going to be so hungry to get their first chance in the NHL and
Mhm.
potentially, play with Crosby and Malkins last year. So I think that's the direction we need to go. Bring the
I agree
young
with
guys
that.
into the bottom six instead of signing the $2 million free agent guys where
Yeah.
they're at their end of their career at that point.
I know a guy you can sign for all that money instead.
Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Or Nikolai Yilus.
Oh, I didn't know he was gonna be a free agent.
I signed him on my fantasy team, and he's like a dog with Sid. So.
Hmm.
Or not fantasy. Franchise mode. And
I
Can we
think I
get
knew
can we
what
get
you
to the
meant.
positives? I have 2 positives.
We do have 2 positives to talk about real quick.
the
but
power play.
real quick, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
I have an answer.
I might have
It
an
is for
answer.
you, Jake.
Oh.
Whoa.
never
Why
mind.
is your leg on the table?
I don't know. It's comfortable. I'll put it down.
Okay.
Everyone wants to see your legs. I wanna see your
No.
legs.
Oh my gosh.
You
Okay.
like looking at his legs?
No, it was just it was an abnormality. So I'm like, what is going on? And so naturally I'm like, this
She was looking
why?
at your legs, admiring them,
No, I was
guess-
not.
I
I
guess
was
she
just
was.
confused that why he
admiring
had his
the
leg
tree
up.
trunks.
Oh my gosh. Positives.
I don't blame her.
I didn't really put like
I don't blame him.
oh my gosh, I'm not looking at your legs like that. Jeez. Positives. We'll go to the positives now. I didn't really have like 3 positives we could find,
Positives,
but I mean,
they have great
any positives?
Great legs.
great legs throughout the season.
Stop it. We just said speed that we didn't have
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tree
And
trunks
what do you need? Legs.
and tree trunks of legs to have the speed.
Yeah.
Then win the puck battles.
that.
To
Oh
win
my
the battles on the
gosh.
You
board.
need legs like Jake.
More like Sid.
You said the power play?
He's got legs too. I said power play. but I think
Jake,
Jake was
please
gonna
tell
say
us
it too.
more about the power play.
The power play this year was buzzing.
Elite.
7th in the league right now at 25% on the dot. And I feel like if we had this power play last year, we'd be a lock in the playoffs
Oh,
last year.
absolutely.
But we had the power play this year, and it was the defensive liability that there's probably more than that, but a big chunk of the reason why we're out of the playoffs. But yeah, the power play and another positive, Ricard Raquel.
Oh,
What a
yes.
bounce back season from this guy.
Yeah, I had it written down here. Raquel had a career high, scored his career high in goals, 34. So, I really think, at least for the next year or 2, he is someone we need to keep around.
How many points does he have, Jake?
68.
68.
I think that might be a career high.
Take a look.
No, I think he had 70 points on one season in Anaheim.
The computer just doesn't want to load. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I know we talked about this. I know you wanted to see Ricard Raquel traded, Jake.
No.
But I don't think he should get moved. I think he is someone who needs
Not-
to stay with
yeah,
this
not
With
team.
what
trying to
with
compete
what
much.
Crosby said last night, I don't want to put too much into that, but with what he said, I want to be back in the playoffs. I can see why
You want to
you
keep
you,
Raquel
you
around.
would want to keep Raquel.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
want to, because I mean, it's Chino's last year. You just go all in at that
Yeah.
point. So why not go all in? And I mean, I was fine either way. If we trade Raquel, I'd understand the package we get back would be insane. And if we don't trade him, we have a guy that can score 30 goals for us next year.
Also,
It's a win-win.
I
So
just want to point out it is
his,
likely Malkin's last year, not confirmed. So
I think it will be, but
I don't think
Yeah.
I
I
should
mean,
put
I
words
think
in
What do
his
you guys
mouth,
think?
but
I think you're probably right.
I think it will be. I'm just saying I wouldn't.
yeah, I'm not
It's-
confirming that.
It's not
no.
confirmed.
Yeah,
It's
no one has
likely.
said, no one has come out and said that next year is Malkin's last year.
Yeah,
but
it hasn't been confirmed.
it is
So
very highly
I just
likely.
want to make that point so
Yeah, thank you.
the viewers don't be like, "Wait, did I miss something?"
What does
No.
Jake
did
know?
No, it's not.
I don't know
It's not
nothing.
confirmed, but we all think it's gonna be Malkin's last.
I know
year,
nothing.
Someone else that was a 30 goal scorer this year was Sidney Crosby. He got a hat trick against Dallas on Saturday, and he is another positive for this team. He's
Hockey-
always a
It's been a
positive.
positive for
He's been a
20
positive.
years.
since his birth.
A
You mean
positive
since my
since
birth?
his birth. No,
Well, I
since
guess
his birth.
okay, that makes sense. He's been a positive for the Penguins since my birth, but yeah, obviously breaking Wayne Gretzky's consecutive points per game seasons with a point per game record. That is, I cannot figure out a way to say that. I figured out a way to say it, but I
Point
always
per
say
game per season record.
Point per game per season.
seasons with a point per game record.
That also works. Seasons with a point per
Consecutive seasons with a point per game record.
game. Yeah.
Okay, it's
There's
always
multiple
recommend
ways to
for-
say it.
There was many ways you could say it.
yeah, it's a weird
It's versatile.
Let's say them all.
it's a weird thing,
right
but
now.
it just shows that he is so
That was
incredibly
wild.
consistent.
Yes, he is. He can
And-
also throw he can also throw a dime
Yeah, he can throw
and
a
hit a
football.
home run. So
Maybe
QB1,
Let me
leadoff
see.
batter. He can kind of do it all for this city right now, and they
yeah, maybe
kinda
he
need
can
him.
play for the Pirates this summer.
They kind of need him to do everything right now. They need him to be QB1. They need him to be,
Fun fact:
Oh,
yeah.
please tell us.
13 seasons of 30 more goals for Sidney Crosby.
That's great. That is awesome.
but Ovechkin, but
I'll get to
Ovechkin-
We're gonna
Ovechkin.
get to him later.
I don't want to, but
I know
You
you,
know my
don't, but
thoughts.
I already had to talk about him on sideline, so you're gonna suck it up too.
oh no.
You wait till you hear my thoughts on this.
On what, Ovechkin? Oh no. Do you
Oh,
already
no,
know?
Yes,
Oh gosh, I'm scared.
you should. be.
Ovechkin.
Something else that happened in the past week. Jari got another shutout. We beat Chicago 5-0 on home ice.
The Hawks are a great team. What a big win that was. think it's funny?
It is funny.
That
It's
was that
really
not
funny.
sarcasm?
No, I mean they got a generation.
They have Connor Bedard and then a bunch of plumbers and farmers. I
Yeah,
don't know
we've
what-
discussed this before.
I
And
don't
they
know
and they
what-
beat the Penguins.
I will acknowledge
On
Ryan
home
Donato
ice.
has had a good season, and I think
30 goals.
earlier I was like, oh, I think he should be a trade target for Minnesota because of all their injuries. I think it's actually good that Donato's still there because he had a great season. I think he's someone they should keep for next year, considering Bedard has not had
Okay.
solid
I'm supporting my
line mates,
hometown
so-
team.
Yeah,
Jake,
for
you
once.
support 80. I've seen you support 80 teams over the past 2 years.
It's true.
Let's go Hawks.
Okay.
Get Chelsea
Um,
Dagger playing.
One
Da
more.
da 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 da.
Okay, tune it down real quick.
Jake, we have to get to sad news.
Yes, we do.
True.
Unfortunately, former Penguins general manager Ray Shero passed away this week.
Yesterday,
Huge
actually.
Huge
I was
part.
shocked.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
shocking.
I had no idea that anything was wrong with him, and I think he kept it private. But obviously built the Penguins 09 Cup team. And something I saw on Instagram I wanted to read. Where did it go?
Did you see the
go?
Josh Yohe story he tweeted?
I did not. Please inform me real quick.
Let me see if I can.
Okay. Well, I found my thing. From Puck Empire on Instagram. It was just a post, a little list about Ray Shero's best trades as an NHL general manager. And a lot of these, almost all of these except for 2, are Penguins trades. So I wanted to read some of them because they were very important. To start, we've got Pittsburgh acquiring Pascal Dupuis and Marian Hossa in exchange for Colby Armstrong, Eric Christensen, Angelo Esposito, and 2008 first-round draft pick. That was with the Thrashers. Trade with the Ducks. We got Chris Kunitz and Eric Tangradi in
Mhm.
exchange for Ryan Whitney. With the Islanders, we got Bill Gehring in exchange for a 2009 third-rounder. With the Stars, James Neal and Matt Niskanen in exchange for Alex Goligoski. With the Capitals, Thomas Vokoun in exchange for a 2012 7th-round pick. That wasn't a part of our Cup team, but still. One more that was a part of a Cup team, one more that was not. With the Hurricanes, Brian Dumoulin, Brandon Sutter, and a 2012 first round in exchange for Jordan Stahl. And then UC Jokinen, also with the Hurricanes, for future considerations. So just some great moves that were
Mhm.
beneficial for the 09 Cup run. Obviously, Dumoulin was a big piece of the back-to-back Cup runs in 16-17. Shiro wasn't the general manager for that, but that was a key piece in that. So he had his hand in that cup team a little bit. So obviously huge legacy with the Penguins history. What did you have, Jake?
I just kind of had a good story about Shero that Yoey tweeted is kind of funny. So they were at SMG, and a Ranger fan walked up to Shero and goes, "F you."
Oh no.
And then Shero turned to Josh, goes, "What a loser." And then Shero goes, "I love hockey." So I mean, I think I got to see him in Pittsburgh in the press box this season. I'm pretty sure I got to see him. So
He was working with
Yeah.
the Wild this year.
yeah, I think I saw him.
That's cool.
Yeah, because you were at the Wild game.
No, I think he was at I think he was at a Devils game for a scouting thing,
Mm.
and it was like a big deal. Everyone was talking about it. So when he was there, because he's
Yeah,
great Shero.
Yeah.
Sad. Very very sad news.
yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, he will be missed in the hockey world for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Moving on to the rest of the NHL, we do not have trivia this week because Ryan is sick. He was also supposed to host for us this week, but unfortunately can't make it.
I mean, they kind of know the schedule. Ryan hosts every other week.
That
I
is
don't-
true.
I don't know if we're gonna have trivia next week either because Jake's not gonna be here
Oh, so
Yeah.
we're done with trivia then.
at least for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna continue it in the summer.
We can. Well, since we kind of had an abrupt ending, we can pick it back up in the summer
Oh, okay.
somehow.
I thought it was guaranteed top 3. I got excited there. For a second.
We didn't even come up with playoff rules.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff to figure out.
We do. And trivia playoffs are honestly the last thing I'm worried about right now. So we will talk about that later.
Babe.
As we mentioned before, if we did. Yeah, we did. Ovechkin has officially become the NHL's
OV.
all-time goal leader. He scored against the Islanders on Sunday on the power play in the left wing circle, of course. And then he seal slided to celebrate. Seal slid. Slided is not a word. He didn't do it in Pittsburgh. Thank God. But I had to talk about it for Sideline. So I feel like God got his laugh, his fix of humor somehow. But Jake, you had something to say apparently?
This could be the greatest single season a hockey player's ever had.
That's what scares me.
If he wins the Stanley Cup
That's what scares me.
and the Conn Smythe,
Oh no.
gets 40 goals again at 38 years old.
He already has 40 goals. He's
Yeah.
42.
He did it again. I mean, the President's Trophy with the Capitals. I mean, we're talking about one of the best individual seasons and team seasons led by a captain in Alex Ovechkin.
That's what worries me.
Sucks that Carolina's gonna put a stop to that in round 2.
I'm riding the Capitals.
How can you
What?
call yourself a Penguins fan and say that you're riding the Caps?
They're
You
They're a
know, I'm
great
glad
team.
you're not going to be on next week's show now.
You know what?
a great
Megan,
team. They are a great
Megan,
team.
since you're in charge of editing, can we start something, please?
What?
Anytime he mentions a team that he's like supporting, cheering for, anything, put like a little counter in the corner, like a little like
Okay.
ding. Because I think I've been
We're up
counting.
to 3 today
No, no,
already.
no, no, no. Let's see: Eagles, Penguins, Blackhawks, Capital. That's 4.
Oh, so we're
We're
at
up to
4.
But I
Four.
can't say the Capitals are going to be a threat to win the Stanley Cup this year.
No, it's when you're saying
You said
I'm
I'm riding the
Caps."
Capitals.
End quote.
Yeah, because they're a great team.
So
Why
that's
would,
4. That's 4.
That's 4.
why would
If
you
you're
not
keeping
wanna
track
ride?
at home, 4.
Why would you not
And
want
if
to
you're
here-
over 21, take a shot for any time Jake mentions another team.
Oh, no.
You might not remember tomorrow.
Actually, no. It's going to be... no. The graphic will already have been
Or
up.
if you're 19 in Canada, 18 in Quebec, or some of the other like territories as well.
That's confusing.
It is. I can't remember it all.
Do
I
we
was
have
still
anything
18 in
else to
Quebec.
say about Ovechkin?
I mean, it's greatness.
I'm not surprised about anything. Congratulations.
He's going to get 900.
Do you
Yeah.
think he can get 1,000?
No,
I don't think so.
no, because I think next year will be his last year too.
I don't think so either.
If he plays,
I
like,
think the ceiling is 950.
yeah, I could see that.
I think it's gonna end with like 930 something.
Between 930, 950, somewhere there.
Yeah.
I randomly said 927 when I was like driving home the other day.
Another part of the greatest individual season effort. He broke his leg.
Yeah. That
Now
that is crazy.
I will give him his
Scoring
flowers for
42
that.
goals in a season when you broke your leg.
At 38 years old.
Yeah.
With all.
I think he's 39 actually.
Yeah,
No,
30. Is he 30?
Yeah, he is 39.
He's 39.
39. At 39.
That is nuts.
And the way he's played throughout his career, physical hockey, like the wear and tear on his body.
How is he so durable when he
He's the
eats
third
Subway
most-
and Cheetos?
He's the third most hits in the NHL history.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's a tank.
and but he does not like train healthy or anything.
No, it doesn't make sense.
He just loves hockey.
It's crazy.
He likes puck.
He does like puck.
Me.
Sidney Crosby's still better.
I think-
Anyway, moving on to the Blues here.
One more thing. It's not really. I just think it's great that his kids were old enough to remember this.
That is true.
Because they were saying that on the broadcast. Like, they're at an age where they can comprehend what is going on. And
That's
they're
true.
going to remember this.
That's awesome. for
Like,
them.
that's pretty cool.
Sidney Crosby's still better. Anyway, moving on to the Blues here.
St. Louis Blues, yes.
The win streak ended at 12 games because what did I get on my paper?
Because they lost to the Jets. They
Ba- ba-
also
ba-
lost.
bang.
Tough
the
customer.
Jets.
It's a tough
Yeah.
customer.
They also, which is why I think if they end up in the first wild card spot and they play the Golden Knights, then I think they can beat the Golden Knights. I don't know if they can beat the Jets.
I think beating the Jets is going to be a hard task for any team this year.
Yes, I agree. The Blues also lost to the Oilers last night. It was funny. Both teams were like had a chance to clinch their playoff spot last night. All they needed was they just needed to win, either of them, and then Calgary needed to lose in regulation.
Calgary did not lose.
No, Calgary did lose.
They lost in overtime.
They lost
right?
in overtime. They were
Yes.
up 3-1 before I
Oh.
went to bed, and then I woke up this morning and saw Anaheim won in overtime. I'm like, no way they came back. So Edmonton won the game with the Blues, but their lovely friends in Alberta screwed them over. So
The besties.
they're besties in Alberta.
Also, we are going to get to this next. Okay, good. I was going to bring this up.
Okay,
if we
we'll
didn't.
go. But I just want to say, like, the Blues. I don't even want to say like the Blues are an underrated team going into the playoffs because I think they're just hot right now. Even though they've lost their last 2 games, yeah, that's gonna happen.
They're not a lock.
Well, no, but
I can see them making it though.
I don't see the Flames catching up to.
I mean, the
either.
Flames won their next 2 games.
Let
They're
me check who
1 point
Calgary
behind.
plays next.
Yeah, but all the
um,
Blues have to do is basically win their next game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But same with Minnesota. They both just have to win.
You never know, though.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
Just extra Penguins.
I love how we have a graphic over here. If the
Just-
playoffs started today, they're starting next week, buddy. What am I looking for? Calgary Flames schedule. Next. Oh, that's right. They
Yeah.
play the Wild tomorrow.
Yeah, they do.
That's
play
a
the Wild.
big game for Calgary.
Literally, if I'm pretty sure if the Wild win in regulation, the Flames are out. No.
You have to do the math for that one, and I can't do the math right now because I'm
No,
not.
because the Blues don't play until Saturday, but they play Seattle, so that's like a free win.
You hopefully
You would think.
you would think.
We played Chicago, and that's supposed to be a free win, and we lose. So
Well, we're also like trash this year, so
wait, so hold on. They have 4 games left, right? 4 games left,
for Calgary.
8 points. So the
Who
max they
plays
can get
Chicago?
is 96. So if the Flames lose, that would drop them down to 94 max points. So the
So-
Flames, hold on, Flames next game's against Minnesota, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So then, yes, doing the math, if Minnesota wins in regulation, then
And then St. Louis.
the max Calgary can get is 94. So then the Blues just have to get a point against.
But if Minnesota's at 93, right?
Yes.
So if they beat Calgary in regulation,
That
then
would
they
get them
clinch.
to 95. Yes, they would clinch.
They would clinch.
Yes.
And then St. Louis just needs to beat Seattle. And then
They
they
just need to
clinch.
get a point against Seattle, and they would clinch.
Duh.
Yes,
Well,
because
would they have the tiebreaker?
yes, St. Louis does have the tiebreaker.
Okay, so we're pretty close to some
Math.
clinching. Also,
I'm good at this because
I did some math in my head
Yeah.
last night. There are those other random Eastern wildcard teams are playing tonight. By the time you're watching this, they've already played. I think it's if three, because the Rangers and the Islanders are playing each other, so one of them is bound to lose. So if 3 out of the 4 teams lose, so Columbus, Detroit,
can be eliminated
let's
if
just
they lose.
I think
if they lose in
Montreal's
regulation to
like
Buffalo,
they can lose every game and still make
and the
it.
Rangers will be eliminated if they just lose to the Islanders, no matter what.
yeah. So let's just say
The
if the
East-
Rangers, the Red Wings, and the Blue Jackets all lose tonight, and I think if Montreal wins tomorrow,
I think
then those 3 are eliminated.
the wild card's pretty much sealed in the
Yeah,
East.
it's sealed. I'm just doing some math here,
Yeah.
trying to get us a sense of like when people can clinch.
Also, Megan,
Did I do the math
Vegas
wrong?
can clinch the Pacific tonight if they beat Seattle in regulation and LA loses in regulation.
Right.
Then we are guaranteed LA Edmonton part
Part 4.
4.
Part 4.
Let's go
So
night.
a
Let's go
second
Kings.
playoff matchup can be decided tonight.
Tonight.
Nice. Make me really happy because I am working on graphics for Instagram.
Sick.
I've 1 done. And that's because we've known Devils Hurricanes for like a month now.
Probably like 5 months.
I have not even created a graphic that features the Panthers or the Lightning because
That's
I don't know where they're going. I have Toronto somewhere, but they're
Yep,
probably
you
gonna
do, yep, you
move.
do.
they possibly will move. Well, I just had them there because like when I started making these like a month, 2 months ago, they were just my reference. But yes,
You know what I want?
what do you want?
I want Florida to tank.
Should we
they
talk
have to,
about that
so they have to
conspiracy
play
theory?
the Leafs.
There's a conspiracy theory that Florida, because Florida and Ottawa in the standings are pretty close to each other. There's a conspiracy theory that Florida is tanking to drop to the first wild card, so they have to play Toronto.
Yes, please.
Biz had his tinfoil hat on
No. I don't-
TNT.
Not even bias. Like, bias aside, I don't even want that because I really want to see Battle of Ontario and Battle of Florida.
I think I would too. Like, I don't think I'm
like
gonna.
Because, like, Toronto,
Nah,
Ottawa
I'd
is such a
rather see-
historic rivalry, and so's Tampa Bay, Florida. Like,
I don't think I'm
I'd
gonna
rather
get my
those teams all
Kachuk Bowl.
hate each
I'm
I'd
not gonna
rather-
get my Kachuk Bowl. But
I'd rather see Florida and Toronto.
why?
Because, I mean,
you want
if
to see
you're-
Toronto?
Because you
lose,
want to
don't
see Toronto
I want to
lose.
see Toronto lose, but also,
Tampa Bay,
like,
Ottawa's not going to be as
to
fun
get
as Tampa Bay,
to
Florida.
like say you beat the defending
true.
champions in the first round, you finally get over that hump for the second time in I don't know how many years.
You
like,
play
you have
Tampa.
Second
you'll-
time since 2004.
You'll have so much momentum for the rest of the playoffs. We
Well,
beat
yes.
the defending champions.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
I do, but at the same time, I just like chaos. And the most chaos would be Battle of Ontario, See, I like a playoff series with a lot of penalty minutes.
That's
and that's
true.
exactly what these 2 playoff matchups would give us. Chaos. I like chaos.
I think I might be riding Florida too
5!
in the East. In the
And there's another
Wait.
addition to the counter.
wait, okay, I have my conference finals submitted already.
Don't tell us. Don't tell us. We're gonna
us.
save
We'll
that
be
for next week,
surprised.
okay? So I mentioned earlier that the Wild had some injuries, but Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek are finally back from injury.
That's a
And
big. It's a big
It's
boost.
huge. They had big games last night. Eriksson Ek had a 4-goal game.
Michael Celebrini also had a hat trick.
Yeah, there were 4 hat tricks last night, and I had them like I want to say like the hat trick goal on my TV for all of them. Like I flipped to the Flyers game at one point. The guy, I can't remember who got it. It's like, oh, it's a hat trick for this person. I'm like, oh, cool. I had Toronto Tampa on for overtime.
Was it
Matthew Nyes gets a
Forster?
hat trick
Yeah,
with his
Forster.
overtime winner. I'm like, oh my gosh, 2
Nice,
hat tricks.
Forster, Eriksson Ek, and Celebrini all got hat tricks this year.
And then I was like checking my phone because I was like looking at the Minnesota score, and I flipped back, and they're like, "Oh, Eriksson Ek had a hat trick," and I'm like looking, I'm like, "Wait, he just got the most recent goal, but my TV was behind." I'm like, oh, he's about to have a 4-goal game. And then I had the TV on when Celebrini got his third. I'm like, what is going on?
The fact that in the third period, Minnesota blew. Hold on. This game was 1-0 San Jose, 2-1 Minnesota, then tied back at 2-2, then 3-2 Minnesota, 4-3 Sharks, 7-4 Minnesota, 7-7, then 8-7.
Well, I had it last. I had it on. I think Minnesota was up by 2, and then I flipped to St. Louis, Edmonton, and I was texting my dad, and he's like, "Did you see like the Minnesota game's going to overtime, or did you see the score of it?" I'm like, "Oh no, I didn't know they tied it." I had to flip it back.
Dude, that's insane.
And then Kaprizov got the OT winner.
Yep.
Speaking of crazy games, you see that comeback the Canucks had?
Oh, that was
okay, we do need to
nuts.
talk about that because that. What?
Like
Dallas.
they
What
were
the heck?
they had 3 goals in
A minute.
It was 5-2 with literally 60 seconds left on the
And
clock.
like they scored in overtime too to like
And the
complete
final
the
score
comeback.
was 6-5.
that's just
That is crazy.
Never leave a hockey game early, guys.
Nope.
even though Dallas kind of has home ice kind of sealed for the
Yeah.
Avalanche series, but like if they didn't and that's the reason why they don't get home ice, oh my.
That'd be bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Avalanche, Gabriel Landeskog is going to the AHL for a 3-game conditioning stint.
Yeah, I mean that's exciting. Just
Gabe
what
Landeskog,
a
Colorado Eagles jersey.
what a journey for this guy. I mean, just to continue to fight and hopefully get that chance again in the NHL to lead his team.
I'm just hoping his conditioning stint goes well. I think that would be huge for
Yeah.
Colorado. Huge.
That would be
Like
a
the energy
huge
that they
boost.
would have for the return
Yeah.
of their captain after 3 years.
Not even just like
They might just that might help them single-handedly.
not
win
even
the cup.
just like on ice performance, but just that boost they
Yeah.
get
The
off
leader,
the
the
ice.
locker
Yeah.
room, the leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. One more thing with the NHL before we go to a double pucks and deep today. Ivan Demidov is coming from the KHL to join the Montreal Canadiens. What the heck?
That's my team. That's my team.
6.
Come on,
16.
boys.
I'm gonna be doing too much editing.
Go, Habs, go.
I'm sorry, I gave you that idea.
Yeah,
but I
I'm
think,
actually
I
gonna
think
put it
it's-
in.
Are you actually?
Yes, it's
I think this is like a requirement for every video now. This is a picture of his face and just a little ding, and then like the number underneath.
I got 3 teams in the East. Wow. How can I lose?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's my hot
I don't think
take
we were
team.
expecting that. Like that's a great prospect, a draft steal that they got. I was listening. He had 40 something points in 60 games for his team this year, which
Mhm.
obviously
The
isn't. a point per game.
KHL's legit.
Yeah,
it
but
goes the second
I'm
best
pretty
league
sure-
in the world.
I can't remember what it was, but he was either one of the first or one of the few like under 20 players to score that many points. I want to say it was like one of the
I think it was one
Yeah.
of the few.
one of the few. I can't remember what they said on the Empty Netters podcast.
All I know is Ovi's gonna be passing the torch to Demidov in the playoffs. So
I don't
getting
know.
that
about
was
that.
huge, I think, for them in for the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be great for a prospect like him just to get that experience right away.
Oh, absolutely.
He's got no time to think. Like you're in playoff hockey in Montreal.
I believe
like,
he's gonna make his debut Monday, I think.
and the Habs.
Okay.
They're on a 6-game win streak. They're going into the playoffs hot.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're gonna give Washington a fight.
like midway through the year, it was like, what's going on in Montreal? Like there were some big questions about development and
Yeah.
what's the direction of this team, and then now, just like that, it's crazy how fast things can change throughout a season.
Like St. Louis too.
Yeah, just craziness.
Habs Blues final is gonna be so fun to watch this year. No? Okay.
Habs Blues. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was getting ready for pucks and deep. Are we ready for pucks and
Oh,
deep?
can I just make like while we're talking about like prospects? Can I just bring up something here?
Sure.
What are the Rangers doing with Gabe Perreault?
Has he played?
No, they're making him a healthy scratch.
Well,
They
That's
signed,
just Ranger hockey.
They signed him to his ELC,
Okay,
burn a
it's
year
not-
off of it, and then
well, is he going to
He's
burn a
put-
year if he's by
Yes.
signing it, or
Yes.
has he played at all?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
he has played, and then he
Yeah,
played I think
that's-
2 games so far, and then they put him as a healthy scratch,
Doesn't shock me.
Yeah, that's not smart.
and that's why Peter Laviolette. I get it. You know what? I'm gonna make this prediction now.
Oh.
See ya.
By either the time we record next week, or if not, by the time we leave school, Peter Laviolette is no longer the Rangers head coach.
Dang. Okay.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
He's got throughout his career, he's had a short
Leash.
leash for a lot of teams.
He's
And
like a-
I feel like for him, he gets the most out of his team year 1, and then after that, it's tough for
he's
him.
the coach that you just need like a 1 year.
Yeah,
He's
like a 1 year
1
boost.
1 year wonder, I was
Yeah.
gonna say. It's
1 year
basically
wonder,
Peter
that's crazy.
Laviolette.
Okay.
One hit wonder.
All right.
literally.
Let's get into this week's double Pucks and Deep. First off, last week we asked you, and over the course of this week, we asked you to submit your playoff hot takes. So we're going to be taking the comments from Instagram and TikTok, starting off with the one post I made last week where it's me in my basement. I will read what we've got from Instagram. Nick will read what we have from TikTok. So starting off, we have Ronan with some takes. If you remember last week, he was filming us for his project, so you know who Ronan is. He's got 2 here on this video, at least. He says Matthew Nyes leads the Leafs in goals in the first series, and that the Leafs make it out of the first round in 5 games.
I agree.
5 games is
I
nuts.
agree.
I don't see the nice thing happening. I could see them winning in 5 games.
I could
Against
see
Ottawa.
both. I could see
I don't
both
think-
of
I
those
don't think they could
happening
be winning.
against Ottawa.
I don't think they'd win in 5.
If it's against Ottawa, I see both of those happening.
I mean, they're not.
I think
They're
Allmark's gonna
Leaf
put up a
fans are going
fight.
to take over Ottawa.
Oh yeah.
It won't even be like in a road
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Who knows? I'm gonna have to pull up.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to take a short little flight to.
Go to the one in Ottawa. It'd be a lot cheaper for you.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
We only have like 3 legit ones on this one. One of them is from Jake.
That's pretty legit.
Well-
I think we should read.
Well, no,
all
yeah,
of them.
yours is a legit one.
I think we just read all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, well all right. Well, Ryan Tile said Penguins are winning it all.
Agreed.
I hate to tell you the news, but
Yeah.
we're unfortunately eliminated, man.
Let me hold your hand while I tell you this.
Nathan Shivens, our friend from We Are Family podcast, said Sharks make the playoffs.
Let me hold your hand while I tell you this. Nathan.
Maybe in 5 years.
And then Jake over here commented Capitals make it to the finals.
Could happen.
It could.
And now
But it
for
won't.
someone who's not on the podcast with an actual legit take, Angelo Esposito said Winnipeg or Vegas first round exit.
Vegas, if they play the Blues,
Yes.
I could see it.
I don't see it.
Winnipeg, I don't care who they face. No way.
I think they're both.
I completely agree
I
with that
think
point.
they're both easing to the second round.
I don't know.
Mm.
Blues are a tough team. Honestly, I feel like we're not giving enough credit to Minnesota because Minnesota only slid because they got so many injuries.
I'm not worried
they
about
get-
Minnesota.
No.
I'm
If
really
they get
not.
everyone back healthy,
I don't care. It
I
doesn't
think
matter.
we're not giving enough credit to Minnesota here.
I don't see it in them.
Okay. Well, Nick, what do we have on the TikTok comments?
Wait, we got college unfiltered pod with
Oh,
just
that was just flame emojis.
3 flames. So thank you for that.
So maybe he's
Thanks,
thinking the
Angelo.
Flames make the playoffs. See,
I think this means all my takes are just fire. I think
Oh
that's
my
what that
goodness.
means.
Uh,
Thank you for that.
That is Angelo, our podcasting class.
Appreciate
teacher.
it.
We love that class. So
slay.
TikTok.
In TikTok, we got 2. From Brady Mayer.
I think that's Ryan.
That's
right?
Ryan's bestie. Hi, Brady.
It's good, Brady.
He thinks the Avs are out in round 1.
I can see it.
I mean,
I
I
could
could
see
see it,
it.
but it's just I could see either them or Dallas getting out. Like
I don't think that's too big of a hot take.
whoever loses in that round, I will not be surprised.
Yeah.
Just because it is such a
That's a
it's
coin
gonna be
flip.
such a good
That's
a
matchup.
coin
flip.
I'm so excited.
And I love Dallas out of the West, so That's a tough
Yeah.
matchup for
It is.
them.
Next from Sarah.
Hudok?
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah.
She
She's
thinks
my
the
friend.
Panthers are going back to back.
Yeah, I mean, I did mention those are one of the teams I would have considered around.
7. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
he already said the Panthers,
Yeah, I know.
so we're still at 6.
I just something about those Panthers, man.
Yeah, but they don't have Matthew Tkachuk this year, Mr. Clutch.
He'll probably be back. for
No, he
this.
won't. He's not going to be back for the playoffs.
Where have you seen that?
I haven't seen that.
I have not seen that.
I literally read it a few days ago.
I've not
Was it
seen
on
that, and
Matthew's burner account?
I'm sure if I saw the Heiskin and stuff that he wouldn't be back for the first round.
I thought I would see that like all over the place.
Yeah, we would totally see that all over the place, Nick. You need to check your
I think
sources,
he's got to look
buddy.
himself in the mirror.
Like,
I mean, if you're scrolling still, there's probably.
yeah, Nick, you need to check your sources
My apologies.
because we would have heard about
You just
this.
don't want to see him.
This would have been huge news.
Nick, you don't want to see
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Elliot Friedman indicated it.
Elliot Friedman indicated
Yeah, on 32 Thoughts. I wasn't going crazy.
this week.
Yes.
I don't remember him saying that, unless I just didn't get to that part.
Like out. Not seeing that.
I don't know. We'll check your sources later. Like,
I mean, this guy played in the finals with like 5 broken bones, so I want to count out Kachuk.
yeah. If you're still trying to find it, like, obviously we would have known that this was.
Friedman also indicates that forward Matthew Tkachuk may miss the remainder of the season, including playoffs. His injury has caused him and the Panthers to get several different opinions, including from overseas.
Did you check the date on that?
Yes, yesterday.
Okay, we'll have to.
My sources are saying he's coming back.
We'll have to look at that later. Let's just get back to our pucks and deep. Nick.
What?
Let's get back to pucks and deep.
Okay.
Okay, we can't get back because you're on the TikTok comments.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it.
Okay.
That's all
Well,
we got from him.
What's
well
in
then
that?
for our other
Oh.
posts. Oh,
We have another comment.
Jake.
I-
Oh no.
It's not from Jake.
Oh, which one is it on? Is it on the latest one?
Oh,
Okay, we'll get.
actually, hold on. I forgot we have a lot more on this video
Okay.
too.
Well, here, let me read the Instagram ones from that one real quick.
Go ahead.
We have another one from Ronan saying Leafs make the conference finals.
Leafs make the conference. Yes.
Okay. Jake saying Capitals win the cup.
No.
Isaac saying Kings finally take care of the Oilers in the first round.
I agree.
I agree too.
I disagree.
Wow.
I just can't see
I think
them.
Darcy Kemper's going to outplay Stuart Skinner and or Calvin Patrick.
I'm not getting that same vibe from the Oilers.
You can't count out.
I know.
The Oilers will have
Okay.
so many injuries though. It's the
Listen.
thing.
The big thing last year is that they were actually getting depth scoring. Like Zach Hyman scoring 50 goals and having
Yeah.
77
60.
points.
I think he had 60.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for correcting me. But
I
he-
hope I'm right. Let me.
Well, he had
No,
77.
he had 50 goals.
he had
he didn't have
77 points last year. Right now, he has 44.
Yeah.
That is
Really? I mean,
yes.
that's a big drop off.
That's a big drop off. And he was a key piece in their run to the finals last year. So if you don't have that, then I could see LA beating them. I think we talked about this last year. This is the best chance the Kings have to beat the Oilers.
54 goals last year
Okay.
for Hyman.
We have another one from Angelo saying Panthers out in the first round.
Don't love that
Tampa?
one. Don't love that one.
I don't know.
I will say Vasilevsky's on one this year. So, I mean, that's going to be tough. Hot
It will be.
goalies.
It will be
Yeah.
a great series again.
Like, they're so, like,
If
All
the
this
Panthers play the Lightning, I
a
can
lot
see
of
it
these
getting out.
series can go either way. Like, really, it's...
I think that's the beauty of like why I'm so excited for this
Yeah.
specific playoffs. All these series could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like definite, oh, this team's going to win, this team's going to win, this team's going to win. Any of these series could go either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's. I think there might be one more. I don't know.
One more comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one more. Nick, I think you know this person, Jack Mannix.
Yes.
He said, Habs 16-0 cup win.
If the Habs go 60-0, he is a Habs fan. If the Habs go 60-0, I won't.
Okay.
No.
What do we got from TikTok?
We got another comment from a guy named Jake Levisky.
Really?
Yeah, he says, quote, Stars making it to finals.
Oh, thank you, Jake Levisky.
That's on Instagram, by the way.
Let's go Stars. My brother was there for a hockey game. He got some good insight. Well, he met with the coaching staff, met with the players.
No, we didn't.
I mean, yeah,
Bro
he
went
did.
to one game, sat in the nosebleeds, and didn't meet anyone.
He went to the
my.
practice facility. The
All
vibes
right,
were great there.
All right, Nick, just read the comments.
All right, so this is from a person named Matt. He says, the Blues sweep the first round.
Whoa, that's a
What's
take.
Matt's last name?
I don't know.
It's not Matt Palangi,
It is
it?
not Matt
Yeah.
Palangi. I've never seen this. He's one of our fans.
Oh, we have fans.
So he thinks the Blues sweep if they play in the first round.
I think it's a crazy take.
That is a pretty crazy one.
I think that's a pretty hot take.
I think that's the hottest take we've had. Unless we're about to get another hot take.
A lot of these are actually hot, not gonna lie.
What else we
Next
got?
comment we have from J Jones 5577.
I wonder if they're related to Ryan.
It doesn't look like it, actually. He says the Minnesota Wild are winning it all.
Okay.
I don't like that one either.
Neither do I. I guess this is what happens.
How about they try getting out of the first round? before
Yeah, honestly.
Well, here, I'll go a little bit out of order just for this one, because this person, that's exactly what they comment. They said, if the Wild make the playoffs, and they make it to the playoffs, question mark, please, the nightmare ends, as in, they get out of the first round.
Who is this that commented that?
Merman7433.
What?
I don't think they're getting out of the first round
Oh
again.
my gosh.
I don't know about you guys.
I don't think so.
I
either.
don't know.
What if they play Winnipeg?
Yeah, no
Okay,
way.
if they play Winnipeg, no. If they play Vegas, I think
They're
could
not
win in
beating
7.
Vegas.
They're not beating Vegas.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know about that
I'm
one.
sorry.
I don't know about that one, folks.
Okay. This is why we have debates. Next.
From I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Leighton Wallace thinks that we get a Blues Stars Western Conference Final again.
Well, that means Blues are going to finish first wild card.
I mean, Stars.
I could see it happening.
I could see the Stars. Totally.
No, they have to
You
finish.
can see the stars.
Oh yeah, they would. You can see the star.
I can.
So yeah, that's
That's
that
a
it?
take that I
Yeah.
think I might have to agree with, depending on where the Blues finish, obviously.
And our last comment's from Dan, who says the Islanders will snag a playoff spot by the hair of their chinny chin chins.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I'm so sorry, Dan.
that would be a
But
team that could
no.
do that. That could pull it off. I
They would have
say.
to win out,
They would.
and Montreal would have to lose out. But it's a hot take for a reason. So
Yeah, we asked
No,
for
but
hot
if
takes.
there's
Definitely
one
still
team
possible.
that would do something like that, it would be the Islanders.
I think that's fair.
I don't think we had any on YouTube, right? Because I completely forgot to check YouTube.
Because the Islanders do have a game in hand on Montreal.
I'm going to double check YouTube. I don't think that we had anything there. But I will double check. Oh no, it's just Nathan making comments. Nathan did say on YouTube, Stars win it all. He also said, "Oh no, Cashman getting emotional. That Sid AI video is crazy."
It was crazy. Cashman
Um,
got an SGA vote.
Yeah, Jake did get a vote for SGA as well
That's-
under his alias Brian Cashman.
Okay. Now it's gonna be time for our second Pucks and Deep, where we revisit our our hot takes from our very first episode
Thank
of
you.
this season.
Thank you, everyone. Standing ovation, I know.
So let's start off with Jake's. Here you go.
Watch out for the Montreal Canadiens to make the playoffs this season. Watch out.
No.
Lane Hudson for Calder.
No.
What? Okay, Nick, move on because that one was way too ridiculous.
Okay. The fact that Lane Hudson's gonna win the Calder as well is literally the cherry on top.
Oh my gosh, you're scaring me now.
The fact
Look
that,
who's laughing now.
the fact that
I was called
Oh,
ridiculous.
man.
That's ridiculous. Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on. That's right.
Okay, so Jake is gonna probably end up being right on both of those.
Lane Hudson's literally gonna win the Calder.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I knew who
And
Lane Hudson
Montreal.
was at that point. I don't even think I knew who Lane Hudson was in February, and then I'm suddenly
Let's
hearing
go.
like,
Let's
who
go.
is this?
What
And
a
I see-
comeback. What
Yeah.
a comeback from last year. My hot take was last year,
Yeah,
Rangers were
We're
going
gonna miss the
and they won the President's Trophy.
you were off by a year with that.
yeah, we
one.
don't have to talk about that. But
This.
I mean, I have a vision. I have a good feel for things. So I would suggest you look at my playoff bracket and take some notes because
We'll see it next week.
I know what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, let's move on to mine because I was next when we were talking about Swayman. I feel like he's not going to end up staying with Boston. And then Boston's going to go because of all this drama and, Pasta and Marchand and them are probably buddies with Swayman. But, with all this drama, it's probably going to cause some, issues maybe in the locker room.
so are you saying the downfall of the Bruins?
I am predicting the
Where-
downfall.
You were right.
Wow, you were right.
Wow.
And Marchand did get traded.
Okay, no, I was half right because I said Swayman wasn't going to sign. But he did, literally 2 days later or
That's
something.
still a
true.
great.
But the
that's
Bruins
good-
had a downfall,
they did.
so
And it
I've been
caused
quietly
a thing
right
in the
here,
locker
guys.
room. Because
There
there was
was-
rumors
there
of
were-
a thing in the locker room
there
between
was.
Marchand and Pasta.
There were.
And then Marchand got traded.
wow, look at me go, guys!
I don't
Way
know. I
better
don't.
than my bet
Nick,
I had with my dad.
Do you remember your take?
Nick had a
don't.
couple, so
I don't remember his take.
we'll move on to Nick's now after
I didn't
yeah.
remember.
Here.
That's a good one, Megan. I didn't remember
Thank
that.
you.
I
I
didn't-
remember
I
it, and I
only
was
remember
like,
yours.
oh wait.
I don't remember.
I was
I
that.
didn't
right.
remember that one. No.
All right, moving on to Nick.
Connor McDavid does not finish top 5 in scoring. Yo, Blomqvist. He's the backup.
Okay,
not
Full time. Full time.
full time. Okay,
Or they trade Joey.
That's it.
That's all I said.
those were his. So,
First of all, McDavid's tied for 6th in scoring.
so you were right on
So
one
that
account.
one, yes. Blomqvist became the starter at some point.
He's not the backup. He's in the
not-
AHL
he's in
again.
the A, and Joey's still on the roster. So
So
I mean,
we had
we got really lucky this year.
we had almost 100%. We can't guarantee you 100% yet because Tabs haven't clinched. Hudson hasn't won the Calder. He's probably going to though.
That was so hot though.
Yeah,
That take was.
that was. I was at 50%. You were 33. So.
yeah, I'll take 33%.
So, guys, we did pretty good with our hot takes.
A lot better than last year.
Weird.
I don't remember what mine was. I don't think we did hot takes. I think Jake was just like, oh yeah, the Rangers aren't making it.
And you know what's fitting that we did this? I mean, obviously we want Ryan to feel better, but Ryan wasn't there that first episode we did hot takes.
Yeah, I was planning to go over these next week, but that's why I bumped it up this week.
Ah,
Because
okay.
we wouldn't have you here if
Yeah.
we didn't. And then Ryan would just kind of be like, yeah, Jake got it right. I thought we had gotten a hot take from him the week after, but I don't think
I think we did.
Did I? Was it just that deep in the episode I couldn't find it? I looked at the beginning or end of the second episode. I don't know. We'll try and find it over this next week, and then we can go over it with him next week if he does have a hot take. So, but those are our hot takes from the beginning of the season. I think we should have a new tradition of doing that every year and
Yeah.
then going over them at the end of the year. That was fun.
That was fun.
That was really fun.
Jake,
Yeah, we got to give it to you.
Thank you.
I can't clap because I'm going to lose my mic. So,
Megan,
thank you. Thank you.
Nick,
me for one of them.
for one of them.
Unless McDavid decides to come back and last like 4 games, get like 8 points.
He did have, 3 assists last night?
Yeah, so
I could see it.
he's
so.
probably going to finish top 5. I think he's only like 1 or 2 behind.
Yeah, this is
so-
why I wanted to do this next week because the season isn't
How about
done yet. But
Jack Eichel with 93 points.
quietly with 93
It's
points.
like
Let's be real.
very
here.
No one's
quietly.
talking about that.
And he's for me, neck and neck with Barkov as the best 2-way player in the league.
Yeah.
He's that good.
He's
Like,
very
I think Nick Suzuki's definitely up there, though.
Yeah.
Especially this season.
yeah.
Especially since 4 Nations.
And he has
Suzuki's been
86
crazy.
points this year.
I think Suzuki leads the league in points since 4 Nations.
Yes. Like, Nick Suzuki's having himself a career year, and I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about it. Also, Clayton Keller, he's 84.
Oh my goodness. Sadly, Utah is not going to make it.
How about Matt Duchene cracking the top 20?
Yeah, Matt Duchene is 81.
Yeah. Well, this was a really fun Pucks and Deep. I think this is the most fun I've had with Pucks and Deep in a while.
I could agree with that.
Especially because we did not have one last week. Because, this is perfect. We did a double one because we didn't do it last week. And then we also had a double because we didn't have trivia.
Ovechkin has 69 points.
Love that.
He's 40th.
Anyways.
Sidney Crosby's 11th with 87.
Perfect. Anyways.
Crosby's better.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're tuning in for our playoff videos next week.
Please.
Yes, Friday evening next week. Our preview will be out Saturday morning next week. The bracket video. We are very much looking forward to that. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and Spotify because stay tuned for playoff coverage because it's coming. It's going to happen. We're making it happen, guys.
It's happening.
So we're going to discuss that. We're going to follow us on social media at @haveashift_A on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Not just for content, but also to stay up to date on our playoff coverage because, like I said earlier, I don't even know when these videos are coming out. So they are happening. It's going to look a little different. We're not all going to be in the media hub, but we'll be covering it. But thank you to the media hub for having us.
Thank
as
you.
always.
Let's go.
So, yeah. We
Let's
can't
go
wait.
Caps. Let's go Stars.
It's a good thing you're not going to be on Stars. That's 7 now.
Oh, yeah.
7. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Mwah.